Hello and welcome everybody, I am SocioPsycho, and today we look at a game called Eets Munchies. This was originally an iPad game and now ported over to PC from Clay Entertainment. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind when getting this game is that the resolution options are very limited, and so it will stay itself in its own smaller screen. It starts windowed and you can make it full screen by Alt-Enter. In fact, it doesn't work if there's other options on the forum page. Now when we go into the options menu itself, unfortunately there is no slider bars, so this is what you have, and the credits, it's either on or off. Now the reason why I'm even bringing you this game in the first place is because it actually has more depth than I would assume at first glance. As you can see, there's 5 puzzles, and these 5 puzzles each have 12 missions in them, leading up to a total of 60 missions. Now the basics of how this works is the game is a puzzle strategy. You start off as this little guy here, and you may or may not have items to interact with the world. Upon where you set him on his path, he will collect these food items are additional bonus. As the missions get harder, the locations of them will get even more harder, making it more difficult, forcing you to replay different missions. They're a bonus structure, if you would, to continue you to replay. Now, as the game progresses onward and the missions get more difficult, different mechanics also get implemented actually quite frequently. It's not a case of just a few mechanics here and there. There's actually some good development in the aspect that they offer a multitude of different mechanics that continue to keep the game fresh and, more importantly, complicated. As far as a puzzle game goes, on this, it stays true to that by continuing to add the level of difficulty as you go through. Now, this game, as you can see in this game, the mechanics itself are very simple, and the game is not a large game, although it has 60 levels and user-made content available as well. While I say the game is, the beauty of it is, though, as far as a puzzle goes, you actually have to think about what you're doing in a different way. It's an entertaining concept which grows even larger and more complex the more they add mechanics to it. So as you see here, the cupcake, he'll start off this time enraged. He'll go towards the cupcake and he'll turn happy, allowing his jump to be smaller, and we get him down to a platform, we make him enraged again, and he can jump up and grab that, and then jump up and grab this. So one mechanic will lead into another mechanic, which will lead into another mechanic. This is a game that progresses rather diligently like that. Now, also another thing to learn about a game that continues to, about a game like this, is the fact that the learning curve in this game does not scale overly difficult. It grows at a good pace and introduces one mechanic at a time, never making you feel overwhelmed, and continue to engage you. Now, if we move to one of the more difficult puzzles, now as you see here, this one is a lot more complicated, and it's got different mechanics, so I'll tell you what the mechanics are. First, these are just little treats, collectibles. And that's another thing. The tooltip help is really good in this game. Any creature that you want to put mouse over will give you an in-depth analysis of what that creature does, which is very nice to have. Different puzzles will offer different mechanics, and as the game goes in higher and higher and harder and harder, sometimes you need to take a step back and just look at the game itself. This game actually stays true to the fact that it's a puzzle game. It continually pushes you to think outside the box, to think better. Now, is there a level of satisfaction from getting a mission complete? Yes, I do feel satisfied after I finally get the completion of a certain map. And so we have a multitude of puzzles that continue to range from difficulties and get even harder. The main version of this campaign, the further you get in, will unlock abilities for you to create your own puzzles. Now, this game does have attached very heavily with the Steam Workshop, and as an in-game puzzle maker, that's actually quite easy to use. And we'll go into that because I feel, well, the puzzle mechanics of the game have been fairly shown, and they are very easy to understand in the tutorial, and they don't rush you through it. You understand, and you feel like what you're learning to do. The making of a map is derived from what you have available, from what you were able to unlock in the campaign, how much you've completed. And there's different atmospheres from what the game has to be available in making a map the way you want, making a puzzle to challenge your friends in a certain way, which is nice. And once you complete the map, you can test it at any time. You can add more food and items and terrain features, special abilities, make it really complicated. And doing such is not an issue at all. You have always the opportunity to test your map. And then once you're done with testing your map, you just go back and you can publish it quite easily. So this game, in my opinion, is actually quite entertaining. If you like puzzle games that actually make you stop and think, and this art style, then yeah, definitely look into this game. I found it to be entertaining. Really, like I said, there's not much to show you about it. There's different maps, different layouts, different mechanics. You learn what the mechanics are, and you continue going through. I guess the real question is, how does it play? It has a very well done physics-based system. Because of that, things seem to flow quite well. It's overall an enjoyable time, and something that will make you think as well. Thank you, everybody. I am a SocioPsycho. See you around.